It didn't seem like it was bad or anything. So I don't know what the hell is going on with them, and whatever happened. Let's get into it.
Taught is the blue ocean strategy. The
turn
seemingly
this, like,
endless
right
blue
there.
ocean represents a market that's never been taken advantage of. Its counterpart is the red ocean, a market that has way too many competitors and is a headache to penetrate. One of the
Let's be real.
best examples of the blue ocean strategy is what Tesla did with EVs. They seemingly created the market from thin air, and then other competitors came in to try and get a piece of that pie. So now, of course, the EV market is a red ocean market, no longer a blue ocean one. For a while, people assumed that gacha games were a red ocean market. I mean,
I still think they are.
The narrative was established. Gacha games targeted a very specific demographic.
What is it? This
and
got to
that
be Black
demographic
Desert.
wanted to spend an insane amount of money on very hot women. But recently, we've come to find out that not only was this incorrect, it actually couldn't have been further from the truth. Infold came in and made us truly understand that the gacha game industry wasn't really a red ocean market just yet. There was still potential to create a blue ocean market, and that's exactly what they did with their games. Instead of targeting the well-known male demographic that wanted to collect wives and spend way too much money on them, they targeted the female market, who really liked the idea of having hot male husbands and spending way too much money on them. But
You know, that is one market in the Godsverse that can make you a lot of money. If you appeal to the female audience, oh my gosh, they will spend. They will spend. It's just they won't spend on like things that obviously what we don't spend on. It makes sense, right?
The female demographic didn't just end there. Infold saw
I don't think most females are spending on Zenless on Zero.
very lucrative opportunities that other studios were not taking advantage of, and proceeded to release their newest title, Infinity Nikki, which was a gacha game, but at its core was a dress-up game. It was an open-world game with
That works. Okay,
the
good.
goal of dressing up your character in different outfits that you loved, and they were onto something. When the game released, it received immediate success, reaching 10 million downloads on all platforms, PC, mobile, and
Even I downloaded it
This
for
is
10 days.
Extremely impressive, even for a free-to-play game. It's ridiculous. It truly showed that there was a demographic in gacha games that was ignored for years, and Infold was finally able to give them what they wanted. So how the heck-
I wouldn't say it was ignored. It was more to like it was not as priority because they like, oh, if we could release a Gooner woman that makes like 10 million a day versus a Gooner guy that makes about 2 million a day, we're gonna release the Gooner woman, okay? So I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense for them to do that.
hell did they manage to go from a rating of 4.2 stars out of 5 on release when it came to the Google Play Store to now finding themselves at
1.8 is crazy, ain't it?
1.8, with their other games like Love and Deep Space also being affected by
Okay, obviously, let's be real. Love and Deep Space is being affected by this. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because let's be honest. A lot of people love that game. Like when I say love, they love that game. But I mean, dang, for them to even downvote their most favorite game is crazy. I don't know what the heck they did.
by the Crossfire, sitting at 3.3 stars out of 5 on the Google Play Store, as opposed to 4.2 just a couple of months prior. And let's not forget the
We'll still never understand how that's a thing. To be honest with
fact
you.
that Infinity Nikki released on Steam and is now sitting at a mostly negative review. How could such a successful game that truly created a new segment in gacha, a genre that's existed for over a decade, fall from grace so quickly and so violently? Well, there are actually many reasons, and we're gonna go over them together. So, yeah, hope you're ready. Let's do this. Do you know what's more rare than a double rainbow? Finding a gacha game that doesn't have a
You know, I love that they all say this, by the way. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about this game.
So if you're
Honestly, I care about the game, but it's
All
whatever.
right, so Infold has actually been around for over a decade now. The first game they've ever released was in 2012.
Yeah, because like Infinite Nikki is like it's a brand. It's not really just like one random game they have.
And it was called Nikki Up to You. It was the first entry in the series of Nikki, and it was also a dress-up game, although still not very well known at the time. Now, to be clear, the main developer for these games has always been Paper Games, a Chinese game developer. But in 2022, they launched Infold, their new international brand. 2024 was a very big year for Infold because they released 2 titles that truly revolutionized gacha. One of those games is, of course, Love in Deep Space. This game truly showed us, once and for all, that females are not only as horny as men when it comes to their gacha games, but they make men...
So true. So true. I don't know that game makes so much money a month, bro. It's crazy. It's insane. It's Genshin levels. That's what throws me. I'm like, what? What is that many? No way.
And look like rookies.
Now we know who's all buying Playz and the chibi characters. Because to be honest, I still believe that those are made for them.
In comparison. Listen, bro, I'm not making this up, okay? Once upon a time, I streamed this game, and let me tell you, dude, you literally get pounded. Like, literally. Like, I'm not even joking. There are cutscenes where you're getting pounded by these male characters, all right? Like, this is this is next level, and guess what? It made more money than we could have ever imagined. Ever since its release, it has been consistently in the top 3 biggest revenue generators in the entire gacha space. Look at this. It's making over $50 million a month, sometimes making $90 million, making games like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, whatever else, look like amateurs. You understand? Things were clear as day. There was a market for these games, and they wanted more. Now look, when it comes to success in life, it's a combination of hard work and luck. In 2024, the Roblox game Dress to Impress was absolutely blowing up. And people, whether it be...
Oh, so they got the ride off a Dress to Impress? That's kind of crazy, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that.
Female were having a lot of fun dressing up their character in this goofy-ass game. All of a sudden, dress-up games became very mainstream. So of course, when Infinity Nikki launched in December 2024, the idea of a dress-up game went from niche to mainstream, and people were very excited about it, resulting in its massive success. Yes, even though their website got hacked with this wonderful, wholesome message telling people to evaporate their soul out of their body.
You just better try to get your prop. What, bro?
I mean, this was it. A cute, wholesome game in which you could just sit there and make up these awesome outfits in an open world setting, and hey, it's free! What else is there to ask for? And the gacha aspect of this game wasn't related to characters, it was related to outfits, or at least outfit pieces. And these were some of the outfits that you could earn through gacha pulls. The community absolutely fell in love with them. And speaking of community, they quickly took on the reputation of being wholesome and generous. Their positivity was seen as a beacon of hope in the midst of all the gacha drama that goes on 24/7 with people comparing their favorite game versus someone else's favorite game. At this point, it was hard to think that anything could go wrong. Infold was on a roll until they weren't. While the game did enjoy a lot of players, the revenue wasn't really reflecting its success. From December 2024 to January 2025, it made 50% of its revenue both in the Chinese markets and in the Western markets combined. This downwards trend would continue from January to February.
To be honest, you could also give that to like it being, I'm gonna be honest, like it's a dress game. They probably had some of the dresses that was like free or early to get, like it probably was a little too overbalanced. I mean, like underbalanced, so it was too overpowered. And boom, next thing you know, oh yeah, they ain't making that much because people would rather get this dress. It's a reason why power creep is a thing in the games, okay? It's to get you to spend more money. Let's be real.
And wouldn't really recover by March. It certainly wasn't making as much revenue as a game like Love in Deep Space. And red flags started popping up until a nuclear eruption took place. Steam is easily one of the best reasons to ever become a PC gamer. Valve has proven time and time again that they are the only people to be trusted running a platform like this.
I don't know why people say that. I think Epic Games platform is pretty okay. They give free discounts too. But like I think it's pretty okay in my opinion. I don't know why people hate on it for it.
There's a reason why it has so many people using it every single day. So of course, getting your game on this platform is a big deal because not everyone is willing to download your custom launcher. There are many PC gamers who prefer to have everything in their Steam library, and if it's not the case, it's a deal breaker. Seeing that revenue was on the downwards trend, Infinity Nikki was on the hunt for new players. So launching on Steam was an easy way to do that. Now look, usually paid games before releasing have pre-orders. That helps a company understand how much demand there is for the game, if the marketing's effective, and brings in some much needed...
I'm gonna be honest, no it don't. It's just a way to get people to spend more money super quick, so that way they're already locked in to play it. I mean, that's about it. Like, I don't think they really care about, well, some may do, okay, but most of them, they don't care, bro. They just want more sign-ups. Well, at least pre-registration in gacha games, probably that's how it is, but like, when it comes to pre-orders, I mean, they just like, hey, look, buy the game early, okay? Like, we're gonna give you the free stuff. Just buy it early, please. Yeah.
cash before the game's release date. With gacha games though, seeing that they're free to play, they have something called pre-registration. If you make an account on their website, you pre-register. And if they meet pre-registration goals, as you can see here, you get rewards for each tier. Every single gacha game does this because it helps drive hype in anticipation of its release date. But there's no such thing as pre-registering on Steam. What there is though is the ability to wishlist a game you want to have. And you can do that for games that haven't released yet. So Infinity Nikki went ahead and set goals like they would in a pre-registration, but this time they'd be tied to the Steam wishlists. And as you can see, there was 4 different tiers here. The first one being 10,000 wishlists and it gives you a live wallpaper. The second one being 50,000 wishlists and it gives you concept art. The third goal is 100,000 wishlists and gives you a bunch of resonance crystals. Now, what are resonance crystals? Well, this is the gacha currency you need to wish or gamble and get new outfit pieces. There are 2 types of banners that you can wish on in the game. The first one being a limited banner. This only comes in for like 2 to 3 weeks and you need revelation crystals for it. The other banner is a permanent banner. It never leaves. And for this, you need resonance crystals. So 100,000 wish list was showing resonance crystals. Awesome. But the fourth and final goal being at 200,000 wish lists was the final surprise, showing a shape of a gacha currency. People assumed that this one would be the revelation.
Yeah, because you would think, right? Like they do that in regular like things, right?
Crystal, what you need to pull on the limited banner, which is probably the most important currency in the game. This only made sense because 200,000 was double the last goal, and the last goal was going to give you resonite crystals anyway. So of course, seeing that this community is very wholesome and tight-knit, they went ahead and wishlisted the hell out of this game on Steam, even though many of them already had the launcher. They reached 100,000, and then they managed to reach 200,000. But then they noticed something weird. The official Infinity Nikki account,
they switched it and just gave them more regular crystals. Okay, that's scummy. That's scummy as hell.
Completely changed the image. It went from this, with the fourth and final image potentially looking like a revelation crystal, to it just being a chest of resonite crystals like the third one. So in the first image, the 100,000 wishlist goal had 11 resonite crystals in the chest. And people were assuming they were either going to get more resonite crystals on the fourth wishlist goal or revelation crystals. The image completely changed that, and instead of having 11 resonite crystals in the third goal, they switched it to 2, which is exactly what they ended up getting. And then the final surprise, the 200,000 wishlist goal.
So they scammed them. That's a scam.
In total, they got
at the end of the day, that's a scam because you was promised something and you did it and you didn't get it. Now obviously it's not 100% scam like with money, but it's a scam with like they basically scammed their audience. That's crazy.
10 resonite crystals, when in reality they should have gotten 11 just for the third goal. People were obviously outraged here, like, what? Why are you being so stingy over something so stupid? Like over 10 pulls, really? It's as if they were giving away real crystals. Like, what the hell was going on? The post celebrating 200,000 wishlists on Steam from Infinity Nikki with this changed image had 100 replies, and none of them were really happy. And after sufficient community backlash, they finally quote tweeted that tweet and said, you know what, guys? We're gonna give you 10 revelation crystals. Thank you so much for being such amazing fans. This led many people to believe that they were hoping that the community wouldn't notice, but when they did, they ended up giving them the rewards they were meant to have in the first place anyway. So look, this might seem like a small incident to you, but
a lot of gacha games do this. So yeah, it is a thing. Like they be like, oh yeah, we give you this. They just give you like 2 for like anyway, and they be like, oh well, okay, we give you 10 more, but they was already promising to give you 10 more, but they took it away, and now it's like, oh, we're getting 10 more. That's what they want you to do. But most people ain't dumb, and they're like, oh, so we just get it. Like, you just giving us what we already like was going to get anyway. Like, no extra compensation for like lying. Okay.
But so far, this game has been nothing but perfect.
Plus, you can see how they could easily give out. Like to be honest, most I don't understand why they send you, because like if you give out more stuff, more people want to support you. Like this stuff is free. The only thing that costs money is like making the character. That's it. Everything else in the game is free. Literally, like if they wanted to, they can give you 1 million for, like, premium currency. Like it's really not that hard. Like it costs them nothing. The only thing is that they ain't gonna do that because they want you to spend to get the 1 million.
You have to understand that. This was the first instance in which they did something so weird, so scummy, and in which they played with their community's trust. But hey, listen, the community, as I said, is wholesome. They were willing to get past this and get back to the game they loved. Unfortunately, though, this was only the beginning for Infold's absolute roller coaster ride down to hell. So look, one thing you have to understand is that the release on Steam was going to coincide with a massive update, which was the 1.5 update. This had features the community was very excited about, like a co-op mode. Before this, you weren't really able to play with other players. Your world...
Did they have a co-op mode?
But in 1.5, you were going to be able to play with a friend, exploring the world together and showing off your outfits. Additionally, there was going to be a full-fledged dye system. Before this, each outfit had like 2 or 3 colors that you could pull using the gacha mechanic. But here you had a seemingly endless amount of colors with their different palettes, capable of drastically changing any outfit you own. I can't really overstate just how excited the community was about dyeing. In fact, Infinity Nikki had hyped the hell out of it by releasing an event in 1.4 called Caring for the Bulkhead, or Bulkwit, or whatever. You can make fun of me in the comments for my spelling. This event had you collect different plants, fruits, and shellfish in the open world so that you can combine them in order to create different dyes. You then tested all those different dyes on the Bulkhead. Players loved this event, trying to figure out all the different combinations, and collected a gazillion of these materials in anticipation for the 1.5 update so that they can dye their outfits. April 28th was going to be the game's release date on Steam, and 1.5 would follow. This was going to be a new chapter in this game's history that would change everything. And it did indeed change everything, except everything for the worst, and players were completely blindsided by this. You see, prior to the 1.5 update, when you would launch the game and play through the tutorial, it would show you the backstory. Nikki is preparing for her prom, so she goes to her attic, opens the closet, and finds one of her mother's old dresses. That dress
Yeah, and then like some stuff I was getting teleported. So yeah.
turns out to be breathtaking, and for whatever reason, it starts dancing with Nikki all of a sudden. After some short dance moves, the dress puts itself on Nikki and transports her to another world. In this world, she meets a goddess that looks really cool, by the way, who tells her that she used to know her mother a long time ago, and that now she has to save this world by collecting all the different miracle outfits. So even if you weren't a story player, or someone who necessarily cares about lore, this intro still managed to somehow captivate you, to reel you into this new world that you just found yourself in. Not to mention, this isn't generic in any way. It's not the typical gacha story. It's original and beautiful, and leaves you with just enough questions to keep going. However, when old players launched the game after the 1.5 update, they were met with this cutscene. It was all so sudden, there was no prior warning, and they were like, what the hell's going on? They were met with this new strange character that they had never met before, talking to them about how they're a goddess or whatever, and then they found themselves doing another tutorial even though they've been playing the game for a long time. People were wondering, what the hell is this? Some kind of prank? What's going on here? Well, it turned out that the whole story changed, okay? It was retcon.
Wait. They changed the story midway? No way. No way.
That's the term. It was retconned, and everything you've known beforehand didn't matter anymore. There was no dress in the attic. Your mother, who cares about her? You having to save the world? We don't know why. You're just a goddess or whatever, and
why would they do that? Like, they couldn't write a story from the other one, so they decided to do that? That's the only thing I can think of.
yeah, just go do you. Like, nothing made sense. Players were absolutely baffled. Why would you change such a perfect story? It didn't make any sense. Here are some comparisons, right? You start in the attic in the old one. In the new one, you just start somewhere unknown. You have no idea where you're at. Anna, that woman with the white hair that you meet in Chains in the first intro, who was your mother's friend, just appears randomly, like with no cool cutscene or whatever, in the second new intro. This is also without mentioning the fact that it just looked uglier, almost like it was rushed for whatever reason. Some people had the theory that Infold did this to make co-op mode make sense lore-wise, since the new tutorial had an emphasis on different worlds.
I'm gonna be honest, I mean, there's multiple ways to do that. Okay, first of all, they could have just implemented it in the game like a regular person. But other than that, let's say they didn't want to or whatever, right? I mean, at the end of the day, they could have just added it and just like don't talk about it or make it an off little small side thing like most games do. Like, oh yeah, you could do that, or they just don't talk about it at all.
But seriously, how stupid is that? No one needs lore or a justification as to why you can play with your friend. No one asked for this. There was no one who saw this new tutorial and thought, man, I'm really glad they did this. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And
like in Genshin, you could just do co-op. They don't say anything about it. They don't say, oh my gosh, you can travel from other travelers to other worlds. It's just, hey, look, by the way, like co-op is a thing. This is how you do it. Done. Okay. All right. Like you getting a story for this? Hell no.
They just broke it in the process of trying to fix something that didn't need fixing. This is without us going into detail about how they butchered some beloved side characters by retconning the story. One character that was beloved by the community, because of course most of them are female, is Giovanni, this dreamy looking fella right here. The story being retconned made his whole story not really make much sense anymore, which is wonderful news to many players who play the game. Now you might be thinking, okay, I get it. I get why Infinity Nikki players are so pissed. I'd be pissed too. But buddy, we're not even halfway through this mess yet, so hold your horses. Things are about to get way worse. Look, if you play gacha games, you know how the gacha system works. You pull on the banner of a character you want, using either the currency you earn in-game or one that you buy in the store. You can get really lucky initially and get what you want, or you can get really unlucky, but not too unlucky because there's a pity system that limits how unlucky you can get before giving you what you want. If you want to go the extra mile, or if you're rich, or just irresponsible with your money, you can usually pull
I'm dumb as irresponsible.
for the same character multiple times, and their copies would give them more abilities, making them OP as hell. Now, based on how lucky or unlucky you are, and if we're going to assume that you're only buying the currency, not earning it in-game, prices have always varied. But recently, because of pressure from the United States, Genshin was forced to show exactly how much a character would cost if you were to be lucky or the unluckiest possible. And as you can see here, it's $1.98 to $475.2. So if you bought all your currency from the store in Genshin Impact and got extremely unlucky, reaching heart pity at 90 wishes, you would have paid $475.2. Keep that in mind. Now, in Infinity Nikki, you're not pulling for a character, you're pulling for an outfit, but not just one outfit, not one piece, you're pulling for multiple pieces of that same outfit. Usually a 5-star limited outfit will have around 10 different pieces. So you're going to be wishing a lot, but thankfully the chances of getting a duplicate are very low. And before the dice system was even introduced, the way you could get different colors for the outfit was to 1. Get the whole outfit, 2. Get 180 wishes, or 3. Get 230 wishes, with each one granting you a different color. Now look, overall, a lot of players collected currency in-game in order to get these outfits, but if you were to do this with money only, with no currency collected in-game, this could amount to close to 600 USD, trying to get.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. How the heck is it more than Genshin? No way. Like, I thought Genshin was the peak that we going to strive for. Oh my gosh.
All the pieces of an outfit, plus getting all colors, including the 230 wish one. Even compared to other gacha games, this was more expensive on average. So it comes as no surprise that when 1.5 dropped,
on actual average of a gacha game, you're probably spending maybe about around $300. You're going close to $400 if you get like the average luck in the gacha game. It's about $300 to $400. That's how much it costs you. But like 600 on, like, that's crazy.
and the very hyped up limited outfit banners came out, people couldn't believe the fact that instead of having 10 pieces, these outfits had 11 pieces, which...
Hey, that's an extra 200 probably. Let's get it, boys.
You had to pull an average of...
Okay, my thing is, do they do this in Deep Space 2, or is this just something they tried with Infinite Nikki? Because to be honest, they could just do it like this, right? Like what some games do is like they cash they cash cow, they keep safe, and if they want to implement something into the cash cow, they implement it into the other games, see how people feel about it. If they feel bad about it, they don't implement it into the other one, keep the cash cow rolling. Or if they do feel good about it, they just move it over and then be like, oh yeah, we got this thing right here too. Like, it just depends. It depends though. I don't think they did. I think they just wanted to test the waters to see how much can they get people to spend in a dress up game, so that way they could do it in other games as well.
20 more times in order to get that 11th piece, making the overall banner or outfit acquisition even more expensive than it used to be. This, just like the story getting retconned, came out of nowhere with no prior communication. And speaking of no prior communication, things would only get worse in that regard. You see, the endgame content for Infinity Nikki is called Mira Crown. Think of it like Infinity Nikki's version of Dress to Impress. You have to come up with different combinations of outfits throughout very specific challenges in order to progress. And once you did, you got currency that you could use to wish on banners. Prior to 1.5, these would reset every 2 weeks, allowing you to get an ample amount of currency twice every...
Don't tell me they either lowered the currency or lowered the time it resets, so you won't be able to get the max unless you like grind it every
month from the endgame content. When 1.5 released though, people found out that it would take 3 weeks for it to reset as opposed to 2 weeks, making it even harder to get currency without spending money, and you're over here dealing with the fact that there's an 11th piece on an outfit you want. Yeah, it's just been
By the way, that's why most gacha games banners last about like 2 to 3 weeks. It's so you like you'll have enough to like probably get like you'll get close to it, but you're not all the way there to be able to guarantee a character. That's the reason why they want you to hit soft 50, so that way you feel like I'm only 10 away, I'm only 20 away, I'm only 30 away, but that's kind of pushing it. And I just like the it's no more events coming out right now. The next events come out when the banner ends. What else is there to do? Spend money. Hello there. Like it's till dawn of time. Okay, it's old as hell. Okay, like it's like if you play any gacha game, you understand. There's a reason why they move in. Like if you ever notice in any gacha game, like 90% of gacha games, like some actually do it right, but 90% of gacha games, the banner and the time the events are, the like it coincides in a way where you will play the event between the first banner, but then the second banner where the actual good character comes out. Most of the events are already ran and most of the events are already gone. You not making enough after that, and you either just gotta say, oh well, I'll wait for the next one, or you just spend like 20-30 bucks so then you can get the character. Maybe. Probably. That's something you want.
Punch after punch to the face, but we're far from being done. The die system that was so incredibly long awaited was a massive disappointment. Those materials that people spent a very long time farming in preparation for this system were now deemed useless. You now needed a new kind of currency that costs money in order to unlock the colors. And just as you thought that this already...
So they paywalled the die system. Oh my god. That's like because like they got this idea from Dress to Impress, right? Let's say right, Dress to Impress really helped them out. Like that's like Dress to Impress is just locking 90% of the clothes behind the VIP and saying you gotta buy this to get the rest of the clothes, and those are the good clothes that you want because you know you'll actually be able to win in the game. And they like, oh yeah, you gotta pay us for that. You want the trash clothes, like the trash, like you want 5 pieces of like an outfit? Yeah, right there. Take it.
It sucks. Well, it sucks even more because you have to unlock the color you want on each individual piece of clothing, which means you need to unlock it 11 times. 11 times! So unless you were willing to cough out hundreds of dollars...
I mean, my thing is, why did they get so money hungry? Like, it makes no sense. Because, like literally, Love and D-Space is banging right now, right? Like, it's banging. It still was banging when Nikki came out. So it's like you're making enough money. You can have a game that doesn't make that much. Like it's still like it's not like it's making $1,000 a month. It was still making millions. Like it just wasn't making as many millions as that. It's like let me think. It's the same thing with like Hoyoverse, right? Genshin makes the main amount of money. Let's be honest. And what they do with ZZ, they let ZZ do whatever it do. It make this much here. Oh well, and make this much here. Good job, but oh well, we don't care. That like they let it do what it do most of the time. Honkai Star Wars used to be the same, but then they decided to put their hand in that pot too. So now that's doing that. But I admit it. Hoyoverse does this. Freaking. What's it? The ones that make Punishing Kuro games, they do it as well. Like they know that Punishing Great Raven was their big success, but then obviously Wuwa took that over. They make their main money from Wuwa. They still do Punishing. They just let Punishing do his thing, make his money. They don't care. They don't really care if it makes 1 million or 18 million. They just let it do his thing.
On currency packs, you could kiss that sweet dream of having a functioning die system goodbye. This was especially hurtful to the players because much of these colors were named after the fruit materials that were present during the dyeing event. Player trust was being squandered at every second, and it was obvious much of these changes were last second. What was going on at Infold for this to happen? Well, a lot of incompetence, but also potentially illegal activities. Someone had made a lengthy post on the Infinity Nikki Reddit highlighting the illegal practices that Infold was committing in their game. For example, someone looked into the game files and found that the drop rates for different items in an outfit were not the same, with the most wanted aspects of an outfit like the hairstyle and the dress itself being lower than shoes, socks, and accessories. This is not in any way, shape, or form specified in-game, going against European gambling laws and also American FTC laws. At the same time,
yeah, it's the reason why against you gotta like. Because the thing is, okay, so that's true. Because the thing is, the law is you have to show the rates of the things that is in the game. that happened because I think actually Maple Story did it. I think Maple Story the one that made that law come into place. I can't remember, but because it was some game. But what they did was they had rates lower, but they didn't tell people that the rates was lower. They just lowered it to an unbelievable, ungodly. You're maybe 1 in a billion person would get, right, and they got in trouble for that. So now, and then the FCC made it so that, okay, look here, y'all got to say the rates of everything. If the rate is, what the hell? No, all right. If the rate is 5%, then you're going to be doing, it's going to better say 5%. But most people don't like. So that's why you can see the rates of characters in games because they literally was forced to because other games was doing dumb stuff. That's about it.
Time, the game had these ridiculous discounts on items that didn't make any sense. For example, one item you could buy in 1.5 was a bathtub. And as you can see here, there's a discount with the original price being 49 euros and it being sold for 10 euros. Dubious discounts like this are illegal by the FTC and European consumer laws. This wasn't just present in Europe, this was.
But I mean, it is, but I'm gonna be honest, that happens in a lot of gacha games still to this day. They be like, oh my gosh, 85 million % value. This was $21 million. Now it's $5.99. Buy it now. I'm like, to be honest, it'd be like $19.99. But now for you, $4.99. Buy now. And 1.8K% discount. Oh, I'm like, bro, I know for a fact y'all sell that for the same price every time. I don't want to hear it. Nikki, Goddess of Victory, does it a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a snitch. I'm gonna be honest. I snitch right now. Nikkei does it. Genshin does it sometimes, not really that many times though. But Nikkei definitely does it. They do it a lot. They're like, oh my gosh, you completed chapter 800, like chapter 8. Oh, here. This package would actually be about $20, but since you completed this, we're gonna give it to you for $4.99.
Was present in all regions, and dubious discounts go against.
They know that they could just sell it for that much.
All consumer laws, period. People complained heavily about this and threatened legal action, so Infold gave in. They removed the discount, and miraculously, it seems that the final price is $14. Wow. But listen, all these things suck so much, but they've been mostly tied to game features and monetization, right? Well, yeah, that's because we haven't talked about one of the biggest issues with 1.5, and that's the fact that it made the game almost unplayable because of bugs, like this one right here. Like, what the hell? This was not present in the game before 1.5. What happened? Or how about this one right here? The floating bike. Like, come on, how does this happen? Someone commented, insane, another retcon. Nikki now literally a bodiless no-clip entity. I should mention though that not all bugs were funny. Some people genuinely couldn't log into the game, and if they did, it would immediately just crash. But
okay, the login things, I can't like that happens in a lot of games. Like a lot of games have that problem where, oh, it wouldn't log in. I want to log in, and like the logins be messed up sometimes. That's just code stuff at the end of the day. But like the other bugs, if it wasn't, well, it makes sense. Like, 'cause, like if it wasn't there first, like bugs appear as you update games. That's just how it is. Like when you update 5 things, like 10 things can break. That's just a part of coding. But at the end of the day, it's like, to not have that fixed and out before like this, even though, especially when it's a big patch, like at least to minimize most of it is crazy.
There really were a lot of funny bugs.
Your goal is not to eradicate all bugs. Bugs will always be a thing. Your goal is to minimize as much as possible, so that way you don't have to deal with, game breaking ones that could end your whole like career of a gacha game, or like for instance, accidentally giving 1 million currency instead of 1 when you do a mission. That would end the gacha game most definitely, because for a fact they shutting that down as soon as possible. But if a character fall through the map, they're like, oh yeah, we're fixing the next update.
Oh, Nikki's opening a door. Oh, the door teleported. There was even a bug in which the new character that shows up in the new intro doesn't even appear. And the person who posted it said, maybe the best bug in 1.5 version. Dude, people hated this new story. Actually, I think it was safe to say that people hated every single aspect of 1.5 and were hoping
I had that ZZ, by the way,
to go back to 1.4 at this point. It got so bad that they started threatening boycotts on the Infinity Nikki official subreddit, as well as the official Infinity Nikki Discord. They just couldn't handle this anymore. To their surprise though, Infold revealed their true colors and started banning or muting anyone that would say the word boycott. So what did the community do? They they started using the word girlcott. This movement started quickly spreading even outside of Infinity Nikki, reaching other games from Infold like Levin Deep Space.
It's the same thing that Genshin had. They people were mad about the anniversary. They tried to silence some people, and then the fallen Chi started, and that fallen Chi went everywhere. I don't know why companies don't understand it. Just let them talk. Just let them talk, because it'd be way better. You're just gonna Streisand affect it if you do it. If you like try to stop them from talking, first of all, just fix the thing in the first place, and you'll be good. But let's say you don't want to, you want them to do it. Okay, whatever, right? But the thing about it is, soon as you try to stop them from talking, that's gonna bring more people in. And then that's going to bring more stuff to what's going on. And now you have new major news articles about your thing saying, hey, look, this game sucks or something. And now you just lost potential people that was going to try it or maybe spend money. And then now you lose all fans, because some fans that don't even look at the Discord or anything, they look at like, oh, they see the article about their favorite game. They're like, oh, what's this about? Oh, boom, done. GG, gone. They don't understand. That Fallen Chi was the best thing that ever happened. I ain't gonna lie though.
It even got reported on by Vice and other publications because the community was doing everything they could to let the world know our game is going through the shitter. But if you thought that only Western players were participating in this girlcott, then you'd be mistaken.
Now you know when the Chinese people get mad, it's GG's.
Because this even reached the Chinese community, who went all the way to Steam forums to warn new players not to download the game, as you can see from all these posts over here. Bad, 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 everybody don't play. Do not get in, this game makes you unfortunate. This was now a global movement, and they were pissed. And it forced Infinity Nikki to make some sort of a statement, and they came out with this apology at the end of April, shortly after 1.5 had released, saying, "Apology letter regarding version 1.5 gaming experience. Dear stylists, hope this message finds you well. First and foremost, we would like to extend our sincerest apologies. We are truly sorry that we were unable to provide you with a stable experience upon the release of the new version. We understand that every stylist's love and trust in Infinity Nikki is something we must cherish and uphold with the utmost dedication. With the desire to offer Nikki and all of you a more vibrant and colorful journey, we had planned various new content for this update, designing outfits in diverse styles, creating fun and engaging gameplay, and crafting unique landscapes. We hoped Nikki could embark on thrilling adventures across parallel worlds, discovering endless surprises and joy in Mirrorland. However, this time, we fell short of expectations. Following the version update, we received a lot of feedback regarding game experience issues, primarily concerning the DIY workshop, co-op feature, and overall game performance.
This sounds like a basic apology letter that like every company does when they get in trouble. I'll be honest.
Including issues such as login failures, crashes, and resolution problems. We have been carefully collecting each report and immediately working with our teams to address these issues. We sincerely apologize for the issues that
I'll be honest, sometimes I really feel like they just don't look at the reports, because like some things like will be reported massively and nothing just ever happens with it.
Disrupted Nikki's dazzling and dreamlike journey. Following an urgent review by the development team, we have already resolved nearly 100 issues, improved the stability of multiplayer servers, and carried out emergency fixes for certain visual display issues. Moving forward, we will continue to monitor the game's performance to ensure these problems do not reoccur. Below is a detailed update on the fixes. So here they give a list of around 13 different issues that they seemingly fixed. Then they go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, saying additional clarifications based on community feedback. Number 1. Number of pieces in the 5-star outfits, Snowy Ballad, and Crimson Feather. In version 1.5, the Bubble Season update introduced multiplayer gameplay to create a richer, more engaging adventure for Nikki and all stylists. This idea also shaped the design direction of the new outfits. From the early design stage, we intended the 5-star outfits to embody themes of collaboration and companionship, symbolized by the story of the ever-blazing bird sacrificing herself to save the iceborne mermaid. Thus, we introduced dedicated dynamic effects, transformation animations, and unique music compositions for these outfits. In Snowy Ballad, we introduced highly dynamic special effects for the pieces and special aurora effects for the hair. The Crimson Feather outfit was designed around the core concept of rebirth, featuring a unique ash form appearance and different transformation effects depending on whether Nikki is in the air or on the ground. In addition, to align with the theme of the new version, we introduced multiplayer features in the design of both the decoration item and dance move. The Eternal Snowdew decoration now features a special co-op interaction, and for the Everlasting Hope dance move, we attempted to create a co-op dance mode based on the original dance move. Both the versions were developed with dedicated custom music compositions. To enrich styling combinations, the total number of pieces for these outfits was set at 11. We sincerely apologize for the lack of prior communication regarding this adjustment. Moving forward, we guarantee that the number.
Let's say that they really like wanted to enrich the thing, right? If they really wanted to, they could just kept it at 10, and then when you get all the pieces, you get the 11th piece for free. That, like, instead of making it that, oh, you gotta buy all 11, they could have made the 11th piece for free. It really wouldn't be that hard. Like, literally, it could just be like, what, bro?
Number of pieces in 5-star outfits will not exceed 11, and major changes will be communicated in advance through official channels. So look, the majority of this paragraph was just mumbo jumbo. Honestly, it doesn't make any sense to include this. I don't care about your vision for the outfit. People are just concerned about it going from 10 to 11 and costing more, and their logic was because it was meant to be in the spirit of cooperativeness or whatever the hell, or new features. But you have to keep in mind, in one of the outfits, there are 11 pieces, and you can't even see one of the pieces, which are the socks. It's hidden behind the dress. You literally cannot see it. So what's the point? In any case, this was them saying that 11 pieces are here to stay, but hey, we won't increase it unless we let you know in the future. This is kind of hard to believe since they already did it without notifying anyone to begin with. They then say, number 2, duration changes for the Mirror Crown Pinnacle contest. To offer a richer and more diverse styling experience, the Mirror Crown Pinnacle contest and the special effects are periodically refreshed and updated. As each version varies in duration, the duration of each Mirror Crown Pinnacle contest has also differed accordingly. We have taken note of the community's discussions regarding the contest duration. In response, we are planning to end the current contest at 4 a.m. on May 16th, with the next contest starting immediately at 4 a.m. on May 16th. Starting from the next cycle, the Mirror Crown Pinnacle contest will be held twice a month, starting on the 1st and 16th of each month. So hey, I guess they fixed this, but only because the community spoke up. Otherwise, they would have been completely fine keeping it 3 weeks at a time instead of 2, giving the community less currency to wish on their favorite outfits. They then,
I'm gonna be honest, like, if this was like a feedback report, they wouldn't care. Like, they wouldn't care at all.
Continue, number 3, DIY Workshop Design Intentions and Future Plans. The original intention behind the DIY Workshop was to provide stylists with greater freedom in outfit design and styling combinations. We have received all of your feedback and are carefully reviewing the current designs to further optimize the DIY Workshop experience. In addition, for fully evolved outfits, we plan to introduce a more advanced dyeing system in the future, offering expanded customization options and richer visual effects. If you have suggestions regarding the DIY Workshop, please feel free to email us at our support email. Every piece of feedback from you is a driving force for us. Your voices guide Infinity Nikki's path forward. In the future, we will conduct thorough reviews, strengthen our QA processes, and approach every update to prevent such issues from happening again. As an expression of our heartfelt apologies, we will be distributing the following compensation to all players via in-game mail, which are 10 Revelation Crystals, 10 Resonite Crystals, and 1,200 diamonds. So 10 wishes on the limited banner, 10 wishes on the permanent banner, and 1,200 diamonds for you to buy 10 wishes on whichever banner you want. They then end this by saying, finally, we would like to speak from the heart. Version 1.5 marks a major milestone for Infinity Nikki. In this version, we took a bold step forward, introducing co-op gameplay for the first time. We hope Nikki's journey can now stretch even further.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be so real. They give more than Genshin do. They give more than Genshin do when they apologize. That's kind of crazy.
Across the vast sea of stars, where every heart longing for warmth can find connection and companionship. Every member of our team shares the same deep love for the Nikki IP and treats every version update with the utmost care and commitment. We stand together with all our stylists. We may have yet to build a world that fully lives up to your expectations, but we have never stopped running forward because to us, Infinity Nikki has always been more than just a game. It is a dream built over 5 years from thousands of sketches and endless passion. Like many of you, we adjust the camera angles again and again to capture Nikki's perfect moments, and we cheer with joy at the beauty of each new outfit. These are not just empty words. We have always held tightly to the original dream and passion, which is to make Infinity Nikki a world worth staying in. That has always been and will always will be our reason for loving this world. Thank you once again for your support. We know that there is still much for us to improve, but because of your companionship, Nikki's journey can continue to push the boundaries of imagination. Please give us one more chance to let Nikki's starlight continue to shine for us all and to keep the warmth in our hearts forever burning bright. Sincerely, the Infinity
saying that this isn't over yet, I am scared to know what else they did.
Nikki dev team. So yeah, it was definitely a whole lot of yapping. And unfortunately, even though that last part was very heartwarming, and you kind of do feel bad for the devs because these decisions were probably not theirs to make, there are many things.
I think it was made from up top. Like the thing is, most devs don't have anything to do with what goes into the game, bro. Like the monetization, all that other stuff, they have no idea what that is. Like they don't care. They job is to make the game work. make the things for the game, and that's it. They don't know how much it's going to be priced. They don't know if it's going to be priced. They don't know if it's going to be free. Like maybe they told in advance a little bit that it's going to be free, so maybe like don't work on it too much or something like that. But like most of the time, it's like they don't control it all the time. They don't control that. That's for the managers and the people on top to do. They get paid for it.
That were not addressed, like how the dice system was clearly supposed to be something you earn in-game but became something you buy with money, or how they intentionally tried to deceive consumers with their dubious discounts. And let's not forget the biggest issue that people had, which was them changing the story for no reason. For many, this apology was lackluster, even if the compensation and apology that you received in the in-game mail was fairly generous. But hey, you know what's funny? Speaking of being generous, there were many players logging in to find that their crystal balance was in the negative, something usually reserved for people who buy crystals and then charge back with their credit card in order to try to pull a case of fraud. You see, there's this pass that you can buy for $5 that gives you currency every single day. Well, at some point, the game was bugged beyond recognition and it would count you logging in twice, something that the player had no control over. So they started taking those crystals away, not to mention this.
Wait. They took it away because of a bug, bro. I hate when games do this so much, because it's like at the end of the day, right? If you're gonna be honest, it's not their fault. Like it's that's the damn fault. Like you just y'all just gotta lose out on money at that point. That's so well. Like, cause like this is the dev's fault that the thing is in the game. It's y'all fault that it took y'all that long to fix it. Okay, that's just how it is. At the end of the day, that's just how it is. It's nobody else's fault but y'all. But y'all decide. I hate when games do that. They were like, oh, we had this major bug where it gave you more crystals than supposed to be. So we're gonna harm you for using those crystals because y'all should have known to not use them. Y'all should have known we were gonna fix it and take the crystals back. Like what? No. How the hell we gonna know that? How are we supposed to know what y'all doing behind the scenes? Like, okay, it's a bug. Obviously, we know it's gonna be fixed at the end of the day. All right, but it's like you expect us to not do anything with the stuff that we got for free because of y'all mistake? Like, come on, bro. Like what?
This person right here posting this post saying, I'm going to cry, spending 20 euros on the game, and then for whatever reason, logging in the next day and seeing that the balance was in the negative, even though they didn't charge back or anything. Speaking of that monthly pass, in order to get the daily currency that you paid for, you have to log in, otherwise you miss out on them whenever you don't. Someone had spent $5 on the pass and wanted to log in order to get the daily currency, but they couldn't because the game was so damn bugged. They sent an email to support, and this is what they had to say. Sorry for the late reply. This inability to log in resulting in rewards not being claimed is not compensable. Please log in on another device as soon as possible the next time you experience the situation. Thank you for your patience. Bro, I don't know.
That's wild. Because like I said, bro, these things don't cost them anything to give out. Like the only thing it may cost them is like a couple of bucks, right? Because like they made it or whatever. But technically they could get the pass out free if they wanted to, but they not going to because they want you to spend money. But at the end of the day, I just don't get it. I'm gonna be honest. At this point, I just don't understand. I don't know, man.
Who the hell's training this customer support team? But that is not how you approach the situation. This, of course, was disastrous. People were spending.
That's not saying it was a bot, by the way. Just want to let that be known. Like I don't think the actual person typed this. I think it was a bot.
Money on the game, couldn't log in because, well, it wasn't their fault. They were being penalized for these bugs, and support had this to say. Wow. But don't worry, because a higher up in the support team saw this disastrous response and decided to take things into their own hands.
Now, that's obviously your actual person. I'm pretty sure the first thing it sent is just a generated bot. Like it probably reads, couldn't log in, and then it sends a response to what it was supposed to send for people that couldn't log in. Oh, okay, my bad. Apologies for whatever you're going through. You can't log in on another device because it just sounds like it's too generic.
Another message to this person saying, Dear Stylist, we noticed that our previous response to your inquiry was incorrect and we apologize for the inconvenience caused to you. Please provide us with your
because it was a bot. Like, let's be real. He probably complained about it or went up and they was like, okay, let's fix it.
ID, the symptoms of your inability to log in, and the number of days affected. We will further verify the situation and promptly communicate with you on the follow-up situation. Best regards, Infinity Nikki support team. Well, that's cool, right? That's way better than that last response. Way to go, right? Well,
they never got in contact, did they?
12 hours
later.
Oh,
they did? Okay, never mind. Hold on.
He gets another message, and it's, Hi stylist, we have detected that you have not responded for a long time, and this ticket will be automatically closed. If you have any further questions, please initiate a new inquiry. Thank you for your understanding.
I feel like that's a bot. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like that's a bot response.
Total unforgivable chaos in every way, shape, and form. And after that first apology, there was nothing else coming from them. Absolute radio silence. The community was still not happy, mind you, because the apology barely covered half of the grievances they had. But this all
I ain't gonna lie, that makes you so mad when games do that, where they sit there and they make an apology, and then they know something bad is going on in the game that people hate, and they just act like nothing happens. They just act like nothing is happening. Like when Genshin did that, oh my gosh, I wanted to delete the game. I deleted the game years later, but still, I wanted to delete the game so bad when they did that. Like I was like, bro, why? Like, what do you mean? Why are you posting this random stuff? You know that you supposed to have a response to do. Give the goddamn response. Why are you just sitting there trying to act like nothing happened? I know why they're doing it. They're just trying to sweep it under the rug. But like, still, bro, why?
On May 18th, a bit over 2 weeks since
The gamer, bro.
came out.
I ain't working for the devs.
Managed to get even worse. On May 18th, Infinity Nikki would put out yet another statement saying, "Dear stylist, this is the Infinity Nikki dev team. First and foremost, we sincerely thank you for your unwavering support and love for Infinity Nikki. Since the launch of version 1.5, insufficient preparation during pre-release testing led to unexpected live issues, resulting in an unstable game environment and unsatisfactory content. We fully acknowledge that this is our responsibility, and addressing these shortcomings remains a top priority for our team moving forward. Additionally, we encountered technical challenges during development that require more time to resolve thoroughly. Following rigorous assessment, we decided to extend version 1.5's end date to ensure greater stability and prevent similar issues from reoccurring. We're acutely aware that these recent issues have impacted your experience and damaged the trust and affection."
See, like my thing is, cause like when they do stuff like this, it hurts, right? But I don't I never understand why, like, especially gacha games, it's free. Like, just be like, hey, this update y'all was waiting for, we're gonna hold off on it a little bit. We're gonna push it back some. Like, yeah, people won't be mad, but at the end of the day, it's like whatever. Like, just push it back some, so that way you don't get slammed on any social media platform that your game is garbage and can't run for anything. Like, why not just do that? Like, I'd rather do that instead of just releasing it and being like, we're fixing it later on as the time go by. Like, what, bro?
You've placed in us. To all stylists, we offer our deepest apologies. So then they go ahead and outline that version 1.5 is going to end on June 12th, a delay of a few weeks.
Thanks for the follow, Maddie.
Weekly tasks.
How you doing today? You doing good?
Notice. After version 1.5 launched, we received extensive feedback on co-op features and gameplay. Based on this, we are optimizing related systems, and the new weekly tasks, Starlit Pursuit, originally scheduled for May 20th, will now debut in version 1.6. This is an event with co-op being the main focus, right? They then continue saying, this delay allows us to refine task mechanics for a smoother experience. Additional details will be announced at a later date.
See, I accept that. Like, people won't be mad, obviously, because like you're holding it back from us getting like a new feature or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have that happen than they'll launch co-op and next thing you know, oh my gosh, your account suddenly gets deleted because you play co-op for whatever reason. Like, bro, what?
Please stay tuned. In light of this change, 360 Starlit Crystals will be given to all players as compensation. That's 3 wishes, okay? They continue, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to every stylist for your understanding and continued support. Throughout the development journey since launch, we've faced a multitude of challenges and uncertainties, from optimizing performance across diverse devices with varying capabilities to tackling unexpected technical roadblocks, and many of these hurdles were unprecedented for our team. Rather than offering premature communication, we chose to tackle these problems methodically, responding to your expectations only once we had secured concrete solutions. But rest assured, we've heard your feedback loud and clear. The Threads of Reunion storyline's absence in this version was never intended as a removal from Infinity Nikki's narrative. Its associated outfit remains on our development roadmap. Due to technical hurdles in version 1.5, we were unable to properly refine the introduction of the Sea of Stars chapter and the narrative setup for Threads of Reunion, which regrettably led to confusion. These elements are planned for future updates. Plans are underway to expand tiered cumulative top-up rewards in upcoming versions. New gameplay systems will undergo rigorous design scrutiny to ensure seamless integration into the open-world experience and more consistency. On top of that, adaptation, performance, and stability issues across various platforms, including PlayStation, have been identified and are being resolved systematically. There are also unlisted adjustments under discussion. Some changes require extended development cycles, but we commit to implementing them through phased updates. We will share progress once plans solidify and milestones are reached. In the meantime, we humbly ask for your continued patience and trust. So finally, around halfway through this paragraph, we got some sort of a confirmation confirmation that they're aware that people hate this new intro. But they only were talking about the associated outfit to that original story, and they said, don't worry guys, it's still coming. No mention of the entire story changing and them maybe going back to the...
They're not going to go back. They probably already have like a roadmap for the new story. They probably already started the animations for the new story. They if they did it, they would have to just like recant all of that, start all over again, like they did the first time. It's going to take months, and it means you ain't getting the story for months. Like they wasn't going to do that. That's more money they had to spend out. They're not doing that.
The old one. They then said, oh yeah, due to technical hurdles, we had to kind of rush this intro. Well, how is that my problem? How about you just don't release it because the old one was perfect in its own way?
That's what I'm saying. Like they could just stop, think about it, wait a minute.
They didn't need to even do this, especially not to introduce co-op. Who cares? And then my favorite part is that how as soon as they're done talking about what pisses people off the most, this change in story, they say, plans are underway to expand tiered cumulative top-up rewards in upcoming versions. Dude, who asked? Like, who asked? It's like, hey guys, we know you hate the fact that we changed the story. Anyway, if you spend money, you'll be getting more rewards. It's like, I don't care, bitch. How tone deaf is that? They then continue and say, we fully recognize that our current communication efforts may not meet every stylist's expectations. To address this, we are launching a new initiative, the Miraland Roundtable, to openly address player concerns and collaboratively explore solutions. We sincerely invite all stylists to share their feedback and suggestions through the following dedicated channels. Your candid feedback, both critical and encouraging, has prompted deeper reflection. Drafting this message stirs mixed emotions, guilt over delayed promises, yet gratitude for your unwavering support. As compensation for version 1.5 shortcomings and schedule changes, all stylists will receive diamonds, as well as energy crystals every day from June 5th to June 12th, totaling 960 diamonds and 8 energy crystals. Thank you for standing with us. Together we'll make Infinity Nikki shine brighter than ever. So yeah, another non-apology. Pretty much not reassuring players in any way, shape, or form. This whole Miraland Roundtable is too little too late. You've already implemented changes that are ridiculous in scope and size without even notifying the community. How are they supposed to trust you with this roundtable now? There are 444 replies to this tweet, and let me tell you, most of them are furious. Because as this comment right here points out, 220 pity not being lowered, barely addressing Retcon's story, no addressing the horrible dying system, no addressing the Mira crown changes, but hey, we got 8 pulls. That was the sentiment in the majority of the community, both global and Chinese. So it didn't really take long, but people who were very big fans of the game painfully chose to uninstall after seeing just how tone deaf the dev team was. And this once wholesome community, this once very positive and contagiously nice community was just riddled with people who had lost all hope, who were depressed at the fact that this game was never going to be the game they loved just one update ago. It was very sad to see because, as I said in the beginning, in the gacha community, this was seen as the beacon of hope. The one game that was immune to the very stupid gacha drama that plagues other games
even in gacha. The hope is a 50-50.
Every single day online. And some people were getting tired of people telling them that they uninstalled because the posts were getting that much common on the Infinity Nikki unofficial Reddit as well as other places online. But why did this happen? Why did this developer shoot themselves in the foot with a goddamn shotgun when their community loved their game? Well, there are a few theories. Let's talk about them. As I pointed out before, the revenue for this game has just been going down every single month fairly consistently. Before the game released, the CEO of the studio revealed that Infinity Nikki was being developed by over 1,000 people. Okay, this was a very...
I'm gonna be honest, that's what they messed up at. They needed money to fund the amount of people that they hire. That's where they messed up at. Because let's be real, you don't need 1,000 people to be working on a game like that, okay? Maybe 100, 200 at max. But like 1,000 is crazy. See, that's what it was. Like that's why they became greedy, because they was like, oh, well, we got 1,000 people working on this. We can't really make this amount of money back. So what the hell we gonna do, guys? Bro, just don't just don't overhire. Like at that point, they would have to fire a lot of people because you just had to overhire for a game that's not that it's not that complex. It's not like you're making a AAA, quadruple, the quintuplet A game. Okay, you don't need 1,000 people on the staff. What the hell are they doing anyway? And one person draw one line and the other person draw the other. Like what, bro? Come on.
Team. Of course, this includes outsources. Not everyone actually works at Infold, but you get the
good.
This cost a lot of money.
But still, why?
So look, like this post on Reddit explains it. There are many theories here, but But if you worked a corporate job before and everything was going well until one of your bosses was replaced with some idiot, this might seem very familiar to you. It happens too often, unfortunately. Maybe a new boss comes in, they have ego issues, they're insecure, they have imposter syndrome, they want people to think that they're smart, so they make these crazy major changes that no one ends up liking, and they end up
Like, I'm gonna be honest, it's the same thing. Like, this is literally the same stuff that happens all the time. This is why Xbox, this is why Sony, I believe they doing it too with some of their games. The game development's doing it. This is why every gaming industry right now is just laying off thousands of people. It's because they overhire. They realize we can't afford this, and they just they fire them. Like no offense, but don't overhire and you won't have to fire people. It's like they overhired because of COVID. They overhired because of that, and it was like, oh yeah, oh my bad. We didn't know. We thought this was gonna keep booming. My bad, gang. Well, we don't need 2,000 people working on one game. Y'all gotta go. Like, we only need 100. Like, it's crazy because like indie games it's a lot of indie games out there that only have like 2, 3, maybe 10 people max, right? And they doing way better than 800 or 1,000 person team. I wonder why. Like, they're making more money margins as well. I wonder why.
end up screwing up the whole company. This is maybe what's happening at Inful.
And it's the same with movies as well. Like, they do the same thing, by the way. We ain't gonna talk about that. But they just inflate budgets. But
interestingly enough, this hasn't stopped them from aggressively recruiting in their Shanghai office. And you gotta wonder why. Maybe it's for their money printer Love and Deep Space, or maybe because they laid off a lot of Infinity Nikki devs that were originally on the game and are replacing them with cheaper labor. Who knows? What I do know for certain though is
I think it's for their other game. I think if they gonna give up on it.
that this game was a breath of fresh air in the gacha community, and it made an important segment if players feel like they're finally validated with a game that meant something for them. Are they going to be able to get a game like that again? Well, I hope so, because they deserve it. But that's not to say that there aren't any Infinity Nikki players hoping that the game will redeem itself. Those still exist, and you know what? For their sake, I hope that that will be the case. But if you ask my opinion, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Anyway,
just hope they make it better.
The video until the end.
That's Mugen. Like, go follow him, whatever. But to be honest, go follow. That was a good video. I think, my opinion, at the end of the day, in my opinion, if I'm gonna be honest, I feel like they should just let it ride off the money of Love and Deep Space. Like, it keep making this money, let it ride off money, Love and Deep Space until it hit 100K a month. Once it hit 100K a month, just end the game. Well, I think that's what they should do.
And I really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is, which should be in a few days from now. I love you so much. And yeah, take care. Mwah.
Yeah, pause that. That was a good video, though. I ain't gonna lie. That was a pretty good video. I liked it a lot. I'll be honest. But anyway, like, that was like, the thing is, it's like, at the end of the day, you can't really do anything about it. Like, at the end of the day, you can't do anything about it. But anyway, other than that,